American man in his 50s has children with 3 Mongolian sisters. A real infidelity story. What do you call it when an act of kindness spirals into betrayal? When what starts as a good deed blooms into something so tangled, so intimate, it redefines everything you thought you knew about loyalty, love, and shame. I went to Mongolia to escape. That's the truth no one likes to hear. I said it was for charity work, medical relief, cross-cultural understanding. But deep down I was just running from a marriage that had gone quiet, a house that echoed with everything we never said. I never expected to meet 3 sisters, each different, each struggling, each needing something I didn't even know I had left to give. And I certainly didn't expect to father children with all 3 of them. This isn't a fantasy. It's not a romance. It's the story of how I lost my way. And maybe, just maybe, found something honest inside the wreckage. My name is Mark Holston. I was 54 when I boarded the flight to Ulaanbaatar. I'd been married to Elaine for 31 years. We weren't unhappy, not exactly. Just dulled. Numb from routine, resentments tucked beneath politeness. Our kids were in college and we barely touched each other anymore. The kind of silence that lives between people after decades. It's not loud, but it's heavy. I'm a family physician by trade. When a colleague invited me to join a humanitarian clinic in Mongolia for 6 months, I said yes without hesitation. Elaine encouraged it almost too quickly. Maybe she wanted the space as much as I did. The clinic was modest. Concrete walls, low heat, a constant smell of disinfectant and coal smoke. I treated everything from frostbite to hepatitis. The people were quiet, proud, and often in pain longer than they should have been. That's where I met Anu. She was the translator assigned to me. Late 30s, soft-spoken, intelligent eyes. She brought her sisters by once during lunch. Altai, the middle one, with her untamed hair and biting sarcasm, and Nara, the youngest, barely 22, painfully shy. Her hands always fidgeting with something. Their parents had died years earlier, and the sisters lived together in a cramped apartment, supporting each other the best they could. Anu offered to cook dinner one evening, said I looked too thin. That first dinner turned into a weekly ritual. Brought groceries. They taught me how to make kushushur. We laughed more than I had in years. It was innocent. It felt good to matter, to be welcomed, not as a guest but as someone who belonged. Still, there were boundaries. At least for a while. But loneliness has a way of disguising itself as need. And kindness, when given and received without caution, can mutate into something far more complicated. The first line I crossed was with Altai. It happened on a stormy night when power was flickering and the girls had gone to bed. She stayed up, sipping vodka and mocking my pronunciation of Mongolian idioms. "You try so hard," she said, her hand brushing mine. "It's sweet." I laughed. Nervous. Tired. Warm from the drink and something else. "You miss touching someone, don't you?" she asked, leaning in close. "You don't talk about your wife." "I don't know what to say anymore," I murmured. Kissed. And kept going. The next morning we didn't speak of it. She was more gentle than usual. Not awkward, just quieter. I convinced myself it was a one-time mistake. Something to tuck away. But guilt is a slippery thing. It doesn't stop you from doing it again. It just makes you more careful. Weeks passed. My connection with Anu deepened. We would talk late into the night. About philosophy, Mongolian folklore, her dreams to one day build a clinic of her own. She was steady, nurturing, and kind in a way that felt earned. When I finally told her about Altai, she didn't flinch. "She always moves fast," Anu said quietly. "She's like that with hurt." And then she touched my hand and whispered, "I'm not angry. I just wish you'd chosen me first." It was Anu who asked me to stay the night, one freezing evening after a patient collapsed in the waiting room. I didn't resist. With Anu it wasn't desperate. It was slow, quiet, intimate in a way I hadn't felt in decades. That night I cried. She held me and said nothing. 2 months later, she told me she was pregnant. I felt the earth shift under me. "I'm not asking for anything," she said. "Just don't disappear." Then, as if life weren't already complicated enough, Nara confessed her feelings one late afternoon while I was fixing a broken window latch in their apartment. "I know I shouldn't," she whispered, eyes full of shame. "But I wanted to tell you. Before you leave. I should have said no. I should have walked away. But I didn't." She was so tender, so eager to be loved for the first time, that my better judgment collapsed beneath the weight of her vulnerability, and mine. Her pregnancy was confirmed just 2 weeks before my scheduled flight back to the US. 3 sisters. 3 children. Oh mine. My hands shook as I packed. I couldn't breathe. I didn't know how to carry the weight of what I'd done. And yet, I didn't feel regret. And terror. Elaine met me at the airport. She didn't smile. "I had a feeling," she said once we got into the car. "You've been gone, Mark. Longer than 6 months." He nodded. My throat tightened. "I slept with someone," I said. 3, actually." She blinked. Stared straight ahead. "Come again. They're sisters. All of them. It wasn't about sex. I didn't plan it. Just happened. Slowly. Then all at once." She pulled the car over. Didn't speak for several minutes. "I want to scream at you," she whispered. "I want to throw things. But I can't because, God help me, I get it." Her eyes welled with tears. "You were lonely. So was I." "They're all pregnant," I said. That broke her. She sobbed, not from rage but disbelief. We separated quietly that spring. No court battle. No cruelty. Just sadness. Elaine even hugged me when I left the house for the final time. "I hope they know," she said, "what kind of man they have." I wasn't sure what she meant, whether it was praise or curse. Back in Mongolia, life had shifted. Altai gave birth first. Twin girls with wide-set eyes and lungs strong enough to shake the ceiling. Anu had a son, solemn and quiet like her. She named him Timur. Nara's child came last, a girl with my dimples and her mother's gentle smile. I rented a small flat nearby and split my time. The sisters had agreed to raise the children together. Not as rivals but as a team. It was unconventional but it worked. Mostly. Some nights I slept alone. Some I didn't. The children grew like roots entwined. Half siblings, cousins, family. And me. Became something else. Not a father in the traditional sense. Not a lover either. More like a living question. How far kindness can go before it becomes something else entirely. Every year I spend half my time in Mongolia. The other half I drift. Elaine and I remain friendly. She's dating someone new, a painter. She deserves that kind of quiet joy. My daughters call me Papa in Mongolian.